What up, fam? It's Chief X, the God Best reincarnated with some more of this common sense science. So check it out, y'all. I need you guys to think and bear with me through this topic and understand. I'm mentioning Dr. Sebi simply for a teaching moment, for an understanding. Okay? So don't get bothered or get mad. This is for the benefit of the people and the health of black people. Okay? So, I was talking about vitamin B12, which is synonymous with iron, right? They kind of go hand in hand, although they're different. And I proved and told the people that you can only get vitamin B12 from an animal source. You don't get vitamin B12 from plant sources. This is just a scientific fact. It's okay. Relax, vegans. Vitamin B12 only comes from meat and dairy sources. You can't get it any other kind of way. You can, and there's one plant that's vitamin B12 nutritious, but no one in the vegan community, the vegetarian community, eats this plant. It's called purple laver, which I learned the other day. Okay? Now, since vegans can't get vitamin B12 from plant sources, they are lacking in iron. B12 and iron is kind of synonymous, and we'll go over that in a second. Okay? Now, years ago, about 5 years ago, I made a post on Facebook because I was sincerely curious about the vegans and the vegan movement in health. So I wanted to see which one are healthier, meat eaters, vegans, or pescatarians. And I made a post about it, and the post excited people so much. It was a debate that went on for a week straight. Anyone who's been my Facebook friend for a long time can remember. It was the longest going post I've had. And it was about meat eaters, pescatarians, and vegans and which one is best. This shit went on for a week. Everybody was commenting. This shit went viral and people was commenting. So I was learning as I was also going back and forth and debating and learning. I was looking up stuff and researching stuff. Finally, a few days had passed, and I said, let me just really sit down and do some sincere research. And I pulled up websites, and I said, that looks like a biased website. I can't do them. This looks like something written by a vegan. And I was going to say, no, this is something written by a meat eater. Nah, everything was biased. Everybody had their opinion, so it's hard to tell who was being sincere, who was right or wrong. And I just started going into science about it, right? But overall, after the whole discussion, the week went by, I made another post and came to some conclusions. The conclusions I came to, and I was unbiased in my conclusion in telling people. The conclusion I came to was pescatarians, which are people who only eat fish, have the overall best health between meat eaters, vegans, and vegetarians and everybody. Pescatarians had the best overall health. Japan had the longest lifespan because they were largely, in general, pescatarian. A lot of fish and stuff. Okay? So, even though I'm a meat eater, I didn't want to be biased just because I eat meat. I wanted to give the people the real truth. And pescatarians won as an overall health. So I find out through all the research, and this is facts, I'm not just making this up or trying to be biased. Meat eaters had the highest highest rates of heart disease. Meat eaters did. But vegans, out of everybody, had the highest rates of anemia. That's just a fact. I'm not making that up. Calm down and relax, vegans. It's just the truth. I'm not talking about you who is in an uproar about what I'm just saying. I'm talking about vegans overall. Now, one person, don't take it personal. You may be taking proper supplements and maybe not suffer from lack of iron or have an iron deficiency. That's okay. Don't personalize this. I'm talking to the people. Overall, vegans had the highest anemic rates. And I sat back. My ex-girlfriend used to be a vegan. The whole year we were together, she would complain about the doctor always said she had low iron. And I would be like, take this and take that, take this. And nothing seemed to work because I figured out recently through my research, it's because she didn't eat no meat. She wasn't getting B12, which goes along with iron. Then I finds out that B12 is stored in the body for 6 months and more. And she doesn't eat no meat. Not once a year, not once every 6 months. So black people, y'all need vegans. You guys have to start eating meat. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Excuse me. At least have some salmon once a month. That will give you your B12. Eat some fish every now and then because you can store it, the B12, and still be okay. So, how this ties into Dr. Sebi. I said 4 years ago, I told people, Dr. Sebi is not healthy. And people are letting this stuff blow by, but I'm going to use it for a teaching moment so you can understand vegans and be healthy and live a long time, right? So I kept saying Dr. Sebi is not that healthy as y'all talking about. He doesn't have a lot of energy. He's fatigued. What are you talking about, y'all? You guys don't see this? People blowing over it. I said Dr. Sebi has done couple interviews in bed. Why is he in bed doing interviews? Why is no one talking about how he collapsed giving a lecture in Philadelphia on stage and they had to bring a chair out to him for him to sit down in the chair and finish his lecture? Healthy men don't collapse on stage and be fatigued. People looked over that. You guys are not helping the mass majority of people by looking over that stuff. No man who's supposed to be the model of health and nutrition gives interviews laying in bed under the covers. I told people 4 years ago, this man is lacking iron. I'm telling you what it is. He's fatigued. He has a lack of energy. That's why he's in bed. That's why he collapsed on stage. He's not eating no meat. He's a strict vegan. Being so strict can be harmful. Sebi needed some salmon. And I say salmon sometimes and fish because people clump meats together. That's inappropriate. I don't clump all greens together. I know collard greens is a different texture than other type of greens. Or spinach. I know broccoli is a different texture than some greens. Things have different textures. Salmon is a different texture than cow meat. Sometimes you can eat salmon and that stuff just feel like it just melts in your mouth like cotton candy. It breaks down differently if it has a different texture. Common sense tells me. And I said one day I did a study on salmon is seriously nutritious in so many ways. And then we had a debate about this. No one can show me where salmon was unhealthy. So I said vegans should at least have salmon once a month. Don't be so strict. If you have salmon or some damn halibut once a month, at least you can store some vitamin B12 and not be iron deficient. and develop anemia. That's why vegans have the highest anemic rates, because they don't eat meat, they don't get B12. Don't listen to nothing they talking about. They can tell you all they want. I'm taking supplements. You're taking supplements to get it, which is a man-made thing. You're not just all natural like you talking. If you're taking supplements for B12, that's some man-made shit. You natural against man-made stuff. I mean, so if you have some salmon or some fish once a month, you can get some B12 and store it and be okay. And not suffer from anemia and fatigue. Okay? You can find no man who's supposed to be the picture of health, an athlete, laying in bed doing an interview unless he is sick or injured. You won't find not one person ever. You can look around laying in bed during an interview unless they are sick or injured. You'll see athletes laying down during the interview when they're injured. You cannot be the picture of health and some health guru and you sit down collapsing on stage and doing interviews in bed. That's not a good look. This is why I diagnosed him myself and told everybody 5 years ago he lacks iron. Because he's not getting meat. He eats no meat. Dr. Sebi was sick, and that's why he passed away. Once you develop complications from anemia and fatigue, other complications come in. Sometimes things snowball. So if he's in prison and not eating his foods like he do, plus he's anemic, it's a bad deal. He wasn't as healthy as y'all thought. He just wasn't. I'm sorry. Okay? So vegans need to at least stop being so goddamn strict, save your life and your health, and have some fish a few times a month. It's okay. You're not going to die. Salmon is great for you. You can't find not one semblance of any scientific evidence telling you salmon is bad for you. Tuna also is not bad for you. Now, people bring up the mercury thing, and this is what I've been, like, people think, mercury's in vaccines. And people don't even know, they're clueless. Mercury hasn't been in vaccines in 20 years. That's a fact. People tell you, mercury ain't been in vaccines in 20 years. And on top of that, a can of tuna has more mercury in it than one damn shot. So if you're eating tuna, you shouldn't eat tuna if you're scared of vaccines. But I don't want to get on the vaccine things. But no one lays in beds during interviews unless they're sick and injured. Sebi done interviews in bed on 2 occasions that I know of. He's also collapsed on stage. He lacked iron, family. Vegans lack iron. My ex-girlfriend, who doctor always told her, girl, you need some iron, has anemic problems and fatigue problems. She was tired all the time. I'm sitting here munching on meats, and she and being vegan can't find nothing to eat in the house. Weak. And I'm not saying all vegans are like that, but eventually, but a lot of vegans aren't even strict vegans. They front on Facebook and social media to be strict vegans, but they cheating and doing things sometimes. And maybe that's why they're not sick. Maybe they ate some meat and that vitamin B12 has stored in them, so they're able to continue on still and be healthy and not be anemic. B12 stores in your body for 6 months and more. All you got to do is have fish once a month, and your anemic problem will disappear. Your lack of iron problem will disappear. Iron and B12 work hand in hand. And that's what it is. You have to have, at least, since you're not going to just eat meat and all this dairy, other dairy, at least have some damn fish, family. Every I learned this from Dr. Clark. Dr. John Henry Clark says, every major civilization started along a major river. The Nile River, West Africa, the Niger River, the Americas, the Amazon River, and along them rivers, every major civilization, all people were eating fish that was in those rivers. There's never ever in history been a society or a tribe that was vegan. Never in history. They all ate fish. And if there was boar or swine around them in their territory, they ate boar and swine also. It kept them alive. I'm not saying go out and eat swine, but eat some damn fish at least sometimes. So I made this video and mentioned Sebi for a teaching moment only. He lacked iron. He was anemic. Yes, he was. He ate no meat. He didn't eat purple laver, which is probably the only one rich B12 plant food source. All these other people who are not anemic and vegan, it's because they cheating, but lying to you. They eat meat every blue moon, or may have some dairy every now and then, but come back to you on Facebook fronting. Eat some fish, family, and get some B12 in your system. If you don't believe me, I posted all the facts on my Facebook page, lined it up. It's a lineup of telling you about B12 iron and getting that in your body through animal products and dairy products. That's the only way. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're so strict. If you're a strict vegan, you're doing yourself a disservice. Chief X, I'm out.